Auschwitz, a name that has become the symbol of the darkest side of human history, a symbol of pain, suffering, and the destruction of millions of lives. This death camp became the largest killing center created by Nazi Germany during World War II. By various estimates, around 1.1 to 1.5 million people were murdered here, men, women, and children. Most of them were Jews, but among the victims were also Poles, Soviet prisoners of war, Roma, political prisoners, and many others. Today we will walk the road of memory, from the creation of the camp to its liberation. We will explore facts, documents, and testimonies of survivors, without exaggeration, only history as it truly happened. In early 1940, after the occupation of Poland, the Nazi leadership searched for a location for a new concentration camp. They chose the town of Auschwitz in German, because of its strategic position, railway connections, distance from major cities, and existing military barracks suitable for rapid conversion. The first camp, Auschwitz I, was established in the spring of 1940. Initially, it was intended for Polish political prisoners. By the end of the year, thousands were already imprisoned there. In 1941, construction began on a second, far larger camp, Birkenau, or Auschwitz II. It was designed not as a prison, but as a killing facility. In 1942, as part of the final solution to the Jewish question, Auschwitz became the central instrument of genocide against European Jews. The journey to Auschwitz began with deportation trains. People were transported in overcrowded freight cars for days, without water, food, or sanitation. When trains arrived at the ramp, SS officers and camp doctors were present. They conducted selection, deciding who would be used for forced labor and who would be killed immediately. Most children, the elderly, and women with small children were sent directly toward the gas chambers. Those chosen for labor entered the barracks and began a struggle for survival under inhumane conditions. Life in Auschwitz stripped prisoners of every aspect of human dignity. They lived in overcrowded wooden barracks, sleeping on 2- or 3-tiered bunks where several people shared a single space. Each day began with roll call, sometimes lasting hours, even in freezing weather. Food rations were minimal and far below survival standards. Medical care, proper clothing, and sanitation were nearly non-existent. Forced labor was brutal. Stone quarries, construction sites, chemical factories. Beatings and punishments were routine. Many thousands died from exhaustion, starvation, exposure, and disease. Auschwitz II, Birkenau, was constructed as the center of mass extermination. Here stood the gas chambers and crematoria. The Nazis called them special facilities. The process was systematic and industrial. Arrival of deportation trains. Selection. Sending victims to the gas chambers. Killing. Cremation. Sorting personal belongings. Documents and testimonies confirm that this was a deliberate, organized genocide. Among the SS doctors was Josef Mengele, who conducted medical experiments on prisoners, including children and twins. Even under unimaginable oppression, prisoners resisted. Underground groups formed inside the camp. They gathered intelligence, smuggled information, and tried to support fellow prisoners. In October 1944, prisoners working in the crematoria organized an uprising. They destroyed part of Crematorium 4. Most were killed afterward, but their act of courage remains a symbol of resistance and dignity. In January 1945, the Soviet army approached Auschwitz. SS guards evacuated tens of thousands of prisoners in the so-called death marches. Many did not survive the journey. On January 27, 1945, Red Army soldiers entered the camp and found thousands of exhausted survivors who could no longer walk. The world saw the full scale of the Nazi crimes for the first time. Today, January 27th is commemorated as the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. After the war, former camp leaders were tried for their crimes. Some were executed, others sentenced to life imprisonment. At the site of the camp, the Auschwitz-Birkenau Memorial and Museum was created. Millions of people visit each year to remember and to learn. The history of Auschwitz is a warning to all humanity, a reminder of where hatred, racism, discrimination, and indifference can lead. Auschwitz is not only a place of the past, it is a lesson for the future. The memory of the victims calls on us to defend human dignity, to resist hatred, and to ensure that such tragedies never happen again. May the voices of those who perished here live on in our hearts. May their story be told and heard.